2022 Oregon wide receiver commit Nicholas Anderson has flipped his commitment from the Ducks to the Oklahoma Sooners. This news coming out of Katy, Texas, Monday morning as we kick off the month of November. A little bit of a surprising development considering how well the Ducks have been doing on the recruiting trail of late. But overall, I don't think it's super concerning considering that they already have some big talent in the fold on offense. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but just from a news perspective, Anderson, playing for Katy, Texas, one of the top programs in the state, flips his commitment to Oklahoma, will play for Lincoln Riley and the Sooners. Sooners, they get their first wide receiver commit in the 2022 class here. Kind of shocking when you think about the early signing day approaching here, a little over a month away. That usually comes in mid-December, and they're just getting someone in the fold now. So the timing is a little interesting. But, Anderson had a lot of schools that were after him. I believe it was 29 offers that he held at the time of making this flip in his commitment. So something just dropped in my room here. But yeah, so SI All-American has Oklahoma with the number 10 class in the country in the 2022 rankings. Oregon coming in at number 6, so just outside the top 5 in the 2022 class. But like I talked about earlier in this video, they have a ton of talent still already in the fold, especially at wide receiver when you're looking at guys like Tetairoa McMillan, who has dominated the Trinity League, arguably the toughest league to play in the country, certainly in California, playing against all the best talent in the Los Angeles, Southern California area. And then you also have Stephon Johnson Jr. at DeSoto in Texas. He's another big name. And Isaiah Sategna, I'm real excited about him just because of the speed that he's bringing to Eugene. That track speed just was going to add a new dimension to this Oregon offense, I think, and a dimension that they've been lacking for a bit. We're seeing a lot of the wide receivers really step up, especially in this last game against Colorado. You look at Troy Franklin, Devin Williams, they're making big-time plays. But other components here, you think about Oregon's presence in Texas after losing Anderson. We already talked about Johnson, and you also have Kelvin Banks, the headliner of the class. And then you also have another offensive lineman in Cam Williams, and then safety Landon Hullaby. So even though he's coming from a pipeline state that Oregon has resurrected here in this 2022 cycle, I don't think it's a huge cause for concern. The Ducks, if you look ahead now and kind of see what else is going on in the recruiting realm, you have Portland wide receiver Darius Clemens. He's got to be the biggest name to watch, especially after he dropped by Eugene for a visit to see the Ducks put on probably their best offensive showing of the year. Seeing that in person, I think is going to be really big, putting up over 50 points against Colorado, seeing guys like Troy Franklin, a freshman, getting involved early. You got to think that those are all signs that definitely bode well for Oregon. And if you're looking at it for him, that's got to be a positive sign. So, and then other things I wanted to say real quick, I forgot about with Oklahoma. You look at some of their headliners. They have Florida defensive lineman Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy, and then one of the best offensive talents in the entire country, modern day running back Raleek Brown. That dude is electric. I saw him at the opening, and nobody could match up with him. No one could slow him down. And then he's only, strengthened his stock this year, dominated in that game against Duncanville, if you're looking at another Texas matchup. So he's battle tested, also playing in the Trinity League, similar to McMillan. So wanted to get a quick video in here updating that recruiting news for the Oregon Ducks. Definitely some big names to keep an eye on here. Clemens is there as the early signing day approaches. Keep an eye on him. Ducks are also in the running for Kevin Coleman, talented wide receiver out of Missouri. So that's all we have for this one. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching, and also check out the Ducks Dish podcast and give me a follow on Twitter. Name right there on your screen at mtorresports. And we'll see you in the next one.